UFC Fight Night Noche has just taken place. There were 14 fights on the card, 7 finishes, and this is my reaction to the card. Starting off with the main event, Diego Lopes versus Gene Silva. Diego Lopes beats Gene Silva. Fuck Gene Silva. I am so glad there's no fighter on the roster that I wanted to lose more than Gene Silva after how he carried himself in the lead up to the Bryce Mitchell fight. Fuck you, I'm so glad you fucking lost. I'm so glad Diego Lopes put him on a t-shirt for Bryce Mitchell. I'm so glad that this is the end of the Fight Nerds. I don't want to fucking hear about that gym again. They've all been fraud checked. Oh my god. But let's talk about the fight. Now, just quickly, did I pick Gene Silva? Yes. Don't mock me. Don't be trying to tell me the Gene Silva pick was like, you picked Gene Silva? What are you, fucking brain dead? Gene Silva was the favourite. If you go back and watch my predictions video, I thought I made good points as to why Gene Silva was going to win, and some of it was starting to become true. I said Gene Silva was the more polished striker out of the two. I was correct. Look at round 2. You know, let's not pretend that me picking the Gene Silva play makes me a brain dead retard. But let's talk about the fight. Diego Lopes was so calm and composed in there. Gene Silva's a very emotional fighter, and at the elite level, that's a bad trait to have. Gene Silva, see this constant, high five me, shut the fuck up. He goes for a spinning attack on Diego Lopes, which you could see from a mile away. Diego Lopes gets to the back. Now, I did say this in my prediction video. I thought Diego Lopes was the better grappler, but I didn't see a way Diego Lopes would get the fight to the mat. But he got it to the mat, alright. He got to the back of Gene Silva, got him down there. And Diego Lopes just showed levels on the mat between him and Gene Silva, whether that be on the back of him with his hooks in, or what was really impressive was the way he got mount, trapped Gene Silva's legs, but it wasn't like your typical mount. He ended up moving up very high, which is really smart because when Gene Silva's trying to buck out, Diego Lopes is already that high up on his chest that isn't going to work. And we've seen Diego Lopes deliver some brutal ground and pound. Those 12 to 6 elbows, and he bust Gene Silva up on the top of the head badly. And Diego Lopes was a war foreman in there, let's just be honest, smiling at the camera, blasting Gene Silva with the elbows. Now, Gene Silva is very tough and durable. You cannot take that away from him, especially when he was completely trapped in mount and Diego Lopes was landing the big elbows. A lot of people would have just conceded and been like, right, I'm done. But Gene Silva kept working the fight out of it. He kept rolling to his back. Eventually he was able to get the arm under and he got himself back up to the feet. Now, I've seen some people score this a 10-8 round to Diego Lopes. I don't think it was a 10-8 round personally. I thought it was a 10-9 round. Diego Lopes clearly won. Also, Diego Lopes utilised his calf kick really, really well in there. And you could see that it was having an effect on Gene Silva. Gene Silva could not time the low kick of Diego Lopes. Really good work. We go into round 2 and my prediction's starting to look good. Yeah, let's just call it what it is. My prediction's starting to look right. I'm starting to look like I can predict the future. I'm starting to look like the best predictor on YouTube. Gene Silva's lighting Diego Lopes up, and I said this, he's a more polished striker. Diego Lopes isn't defensively sound on the feet. I still stand by that. He was a bit better this time. It looked like his shoulders were a bit more rounded, his chin was a bit more tucked, but usually Diego Lopes is like this, and I thought Gene Silva was going to be able to come over the top. Now, when they got in close and they were exchanging, Gene Silva was winning those exchanges. I'm just going to be upfront and honest. Gene Silva was winning those, and he was catching Diego Lopes, but Gene Silva, it was maybe like a psychological thing, the fact that he lost the first round. He just ended up just throwing, like he ended up doing some Justin Gaethje type shit where he's just overextended on his punches, his weight's all distributed unevenly and he's falling over, and that's where Diego Lopes was able to get to the mat again. But yeah, Gene Silva, it was as if like, I lost round 2, I need to knock him out in the second round. It's like, yo, this is a 5-round fight. Gene Silva didn't pace himself properly in my opinion. It was like he was so desperate to win round 2, and he was winning round 2. Like he was just, it just looked like he was so obsessed with wanting to get like revenge on Diego Lopes, wanting to get Lopes out of there because of the first round. And I thought that if he had maybe taken a bit off his shots and been a bit more calculated and not just swinging shit. Like some of the stuff he was just throwing, like some of the elbows he was coming in with, he was so out of range from Diego Lopes that they just were not going to land. He landed a nice body kick, a nice lead body kick to Diego Lopes, and Gene Silva was winning this round. He was lighting him up, but Diego Lopes ends up retreating back, has Gene Silva coming after him, and then did you see that? I'm going to do it again because I might have been a bit too fast for you. That's the type of shit that he done, right? Catches Diego Lopes clean on the loaf, and Gene Silva goes down like a ton of shit. Now Gene Silva goes down, blood instantly is gushing out of this guy's head. Diego Lopes landing some ground and pound. Look, I've seen some people say maybe a bit of an early stoppage, and at first watch I was like, there was like 10 seconds left, 10 seconds left. Maybe could have let it go a bit longer, but I think it was right because Gene Silva took a lot of damage, and the way he went down, like he was holding on to the cage, he was fucked when he went down from that elbow. And Diego Lopes is really good. There's an argument Diego Lopes, you see, I was going to say something there that I don't believe because I think Mozart is the best featherweight. So yeah, Diego Lopes is probably like the third best featherweight right now. Ignore that point I was going to say. I was going to say maybe Diego Lopes is the best, but he's not. And just watching this performance, how good is Volkanovski still? Bruh. Volk still fucking has it because we've seen what he done to Diego Lopes when they fought, and it was a pretty recent fight. UFC 314 was in April. This is in September. I do think, by the way, just quickly, get fucking Gene Silva out of the UFC. I forgot about this. This fucker punched Diego Lopes in the back of the head after he lost. You sore fucking loser. That is bitch made material. Get this guy out of the fucking promotion. Get him gone. I seen him crying backstage. That's what you get for the stuff you done to Bryce Mitchell. Diego Lopes put you on a fucking t-shirt for the boys. For the Bryce Mitchell fan club. You got smoked. Bad loser. UFC cut him. Send him to the PFL. Bark somewhere else, my boy. Because Diego Lopes smoked you. Badly. What's next for Diego Lopes? Aljamain Sterling called him out. Aljo, please do not take that fight. Diego Lopes will render you unconscious. Moves are Diego Lopes too. Let's just run it. Larone's going to be fighting Volkanovski in December. Let's do the rematch. Enough time has passed now, in my opinion. Number one contender fight. Have Yair fight Aljamain Sterling. We know that Yair won't fight Lopes, so have him fight Aljo. And then at least then you've got two contenders. So you've got a bit of a run for the champion in the featherweight division to make. What's next for Gene Silva? Let's give Gene Silva... Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett. Let's give him Josh Emmett. Congrats, you're fighting Josh Emmett in the prelims. The rest of the card, Rob Font, how the fuck's this guy ranked? Jared Gordon, by what deal by? I really thought Jared Gordon was going to win this fight. I thought he was way better than Garcia. Kevin Gastelum versus Dustin Stolfus. Kevin Gastelum, PFL, he's missed weight numerous occasions now. Yes, it was a fun fight. You're going with Brian Battle. Alexander Hernandez beat Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira, I always thought he was like a gem, an unranked gem. Not anymore. Alex Hernandez title run starts now. What else do I want to talk about? Amanda Lemos got a ball shot. Curious. Zachary Reese hit Sadiq Dumas in the balls. No contest. Sadiq Dumas lives to fight another day. He probably was going to lose this matchup. Couple of weeks time, rebook it. And Danil Donchenko, I can't say his name. The Ukrainian Yuri Prohaska wins the Ultimate Fighter. This card on paper was ass, but delivered a bit. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't as shit as I thought it was going to be. But the main event... See you later, Diego Lopes. See you later, Diego Lopes. See you later, Gene Silva. What the fuck am I on about? I'm so tired after watching Canelo Crawford. Which, by the way, there's no way you watch Canelo Crawford and watch this main event and tell me boxing is better than the UFC. If you do, you're full of shit. Good night, God bless. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you all again in the next one.